Hey, welcome to Squarebody Stuff. I'm Chad. We've got Buddy here behind me. He's going to help me out to answer a question we see on Facebook quite often. One of the frequently asked questions I see: are all the vent windows the same on these Squarebody trucks? And we'll answer that here in just a minute. And before we get started, I'd like to ask you, if you like what you see here on this channel, hit that subscribe button down below and ring that little bell notification next to it, because that'll give you notifications whenever I put a new video out. Give us a thumbs up if you want to. Also, check out the description box down below. I've got some links to my Teespring store where you can check out my merchandise. Pick you out a hoodie or a t-shirt or a coffee mug or something. Also down there in the description box is links to my email, Instagram, and Facebook. Alright, that's enough of that stuff. Let's get to the information. Now, there are two different types of vent windows. There's the early style and the later style. From 73 through 80 was the early style. 81 and newer are the later style. Now, this is the later style. Buddy here is an 84, so he's got the later style vent window. Right here I've got a vent window out of a, if I remember right, this is out of a 73. Actually out of the first pickup I ever owned. But it's the passenger side window, and I'll show you in a minute why I'm not comparing this passenger side window to the passenger side window on this truck. There's something wonky going on there. We'll go over that in just a minute. But I want to show you the differences in between these two windows. Now, the first difference I'm going to go over is the handles. Notice this one is just a handle. The later style has a little push button lock. You have to push that in to unlock it to turn it up, and that's the main difference on the inside. The gaskets on the earlier style are two-piece. You've got the outer piece, then you got this inner piece, so it's a two-piece gasket. The later ones, it's all one piece, it's all one gasket. Now, the shape of the window is also different. You notice this one, this bottom corner, is a little more rounded than this corner. It's kind of a sharper corner. And then the upper part, the older style, has a really pointed tip on the top of it. And you see here on the top of the later style, it's more curved over, and it's a little bit shorter. Now I'll show you over here on the passenger side why I didn't compare that window frame that I have loose to this one. Because actually, and this is the way this truck has been ever since I've got it like 17 years ago, it's actually got the older style glass in the newer style frame. And you say, well, how can that work? Because the tops are different. Well, if you look close, they actually just broke the tip of the glass off to fit inside this frame. Now, I've never actually opened this window because I was afraid that that glass would probably just fall out, so it's never been opened. And you can see here where the glass, there's actually a little gap there. The glass doesn't fit in that corner as good because the older style glasses have got a more of a rounded corner. But the rest of the profile is pretty much the same. It's just the lower corner and the top corner that's different on the glass. We'll get an inside view here of a little bit of a difference. You can see a little more of the gap there on the window, the glass. It's got the older style latch. Another quick tip I want to go over while we're talking about vent windows is I actually seen this question just the other day on Facebook about how can you adjust your vent window tension if it's too loose or too tight. Now, normally if they're too tight, it's a lubrication problem. You'll have to lubricate your pivot points, which will be up here, and then also down below. We'll show you on this one here, your pivot point down below. Now, to get to this one, you really need to take your door panel off to be able to access that. But if your vent window is too loose and just kind of flops around, you'll have to bend these tabs back and adjust that nut. That's your tension spring on it. You tighten that nut up and it puts more tension on that spring, and it'll tighten up your vent window if it's too loose. Now, as you can see, it can be kind of important to know which style vent window you have, because not everything interchanges on them. Especially if you're going to be ordering a new gasket kit for them, you'll need to know if you got the earlier style or the later style. And you can't just go by what year your truck is, because some of them may have swapped the windows out on them like Squeaky there on the trailer. I think both of his doors are out of a 80s model with the same style vent window this one's got with the latch on it. And he's actually 78. He should have the earlier style windows in it. So don't assume what kind of windows you have. Verify what you got before you order any parts for them. Now, with that said, you can actually take the whole frame and replace the whole frame. Like on the passenger side of this truck, since that vent window's all messed up, it's not right, I could take that frame that I was showing you the differences on. I could take that frame, put it in that door, and it'll all work. You can swap the whole assemblies out. Hopefully that's answered any questions you might have about your vent windows on your square body truck. I'll leave it off there. So until next time, y'all keep your square bodies rolling, and we'll catch you later.